Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Muhi Khwaja with American Muslim Community Foundation, and today on the Muslim Philanthropy Podcast, we are honored to have on Tauseef, who is the founder of Feeling Blessed, an app that helps people with their charitable giving. Welcome to the show, Tauseef.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thank you, Mohi, for having me over.
Of course. So let everybody know where you're located and kind of your background and a little bit more.
Yeah, so I am here in Austin, Texas, the Lone Star State. Everything is big in Texas, and I've been here for about 21 years now. For my background, um, I was born in Karachi, Pakistan. Lived all my life up until 17 years of age when I came here for my undergrad in the United Arab Emirates in Sharjah. I got my O levels and my A levels there, and then after that, I came here for my undergraduate to UT Austin. Um, got my education here in engineering, computer engineering, all the way from bachelor through PhD in computer engineering, and then for the last, I would say about 20 years, almost 15, 20 years, I've been working in the semiconductor space. Building chips that power cell phones and now almost everything.
Great. And when was it that you kind of felt you wanted to enter into this charitable giving space and help set up Feeling Blessed?
Yeah, and that's a great question. When I think about it, I think it was always something that I wanted to do right from my formative years, where I've seen my parents do charity, and that's something that was sort of part of our growing up culture, both in terms of our deen and as well as the culture, the Pakistani culture, and more so than that, our religion. So I've always seen my parents do it. And when I came here to the U.S., the first Juma, I remember after the Juma, the Khatib went to the after the thing after the salam, he said, uh, "Hey, please, be generous and remember to give on the way out." And it really confused me because in UAE, Awqaf, the Ministry of Religious Affairs, always solves that problem, and the community is not responsible for constructing, maintaining the masjid, right? So I kind of saw that space even on my first Juma in the US, is that, hey, this is something. Oh, the community actually owns and really is responsible for this. Um, so I was always wired towards this. Now, specifically, the passion projects of to do something on the Islamic space uh, came in. The first thing I did was actually in 2010. I went for my own Hajj, and I came back from Hajj, and I saw that the whole logistics of planning for Hajj was so much harder, and information was so few, and there's just no good way to plan logistically for Hajj. So when I came back, I did a website called Hajj Explorer. Actually, it was more like a kayak kind of a website that did searches across all the packages.
Interesting.
You could compare them side by side. Medina first, Makkah first, all the things that actually matter, and some of the things that you wouldn't know because you haven't done Hajj before. So things that would matter. So you could do quad room pricing. And after you do all of that exhaustive search, it'll give you like two or three or four packages that met your requirements, and you can compare them side by side. So that was my first passion project in this space, was to do a Hajj and Umrah webpage. Then from there, I realized that I wanted to do something more in the sense that it was more frequent and something that could impact people's lives every day, and be a part of an ibadah of someone uh, more consistently. Hajj and Umrah, obviously, people do once, twice. It's very, very few times that a person would actually venture and look for a Hajj package. Whereas charity was clearly something that people should be doing more consistently. And going back to my first Juma, there was always that hole, and just the Muslim donation space hadn't caught up to do consistent donations as a lifestyle, which has always been, alhamdulillah, Muslims' lifestyles. So yeah, I mean, so my upbringing, our religion, my passion to do tech stuff in the Muslim space, it all pointed towards this.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I think your experience in Sharjah and even in Pakistan, where the government has a responsibility to maintain the mosques and the awqaf or endowments that are set up, I think are pivotal in an area in which American Muslim philanthropy can continue to grow. There's probably a few dozen charities, or maybe even a few hundred, that have endowments, but are they effectively managed? Are they able to cover the entire operational cost of the facility? And I think that's something that AMCF is passionate about in helping with that long-term sustainability for nonprofit organizations. So in terms of, you had this experience and you went to Hajj and Umrah, and then you wanted to kind of use your skill set as a programmer, as a tech person, to build efficiency in the Muslim space. And what was that like kind of first iteration of feeling blessed? What did it look like? Who did you kind of consult on the idea, and how did you kind of get it to an online presence?
Yeah, a great question. So it always starts. You solve problems, and as an engineer, I solve problems, and as a person, you solve your problems first. So, as when growing up, I was saying, we always, and there's a good 2-minute video about our stories. So do check us out there. As growing up, I saw my parents always do this, and what my mom would used to do was she would just collect coins, money in a box, and once that filled up, she would give that in charity, right? So in 2014, when we actually launched, my parents had moved to the US. After they're both medical doctors that retired, and they moved to the US. And my mom would ask me or my father, who to give, whenever you're going to the masjid to give. And really, I was trying to solve again her pain point, right? Which is, why couldn't she just give without asking someone to go to the mosque to give? Which is kind of just too much, too many hurdles to just solve one little thing of it, and so I wanted to solve her problem, my problem. Yeah, so that's how, we started solving problems, right? We started solving one problem. Turns out that's a pain point that just not appeals to me or my family or my mom. It's actually something that, so many other people have, especially sisters. I mean, and just went from there. And there was always that need that masjids are always asking for, always asking for contributions. That you said, endowments exist, but are they managed properly? Are they actually working with the massages the way they should be? So there was always that need. So I mean, so the journey really went from solving personal problems to solving it for other people, to solving it for the larger community. The way it evolved was, I went to the mosque just down the road, and I asked them, hey, you wouldn't mind just getting random donations on a random Tuesday, right? And they said, oh, no, no, we would love to have that. And I said, yeah, sure. Hey, do you have like 5 minutes to make that happen? He says, sure. What do I need to do? Hey, I have this website. You wanna just join in? And they said, sure. And then, I mean, I always had the vision that, this is something that every Muslim should be doing. Alhamdulillah is the first word in the Quran, and Alhamdulillah actually means a lot, right? I mean, it actually means to share that blessings. You're in that moment, and that's why we called it feeling blessed. I mean, that's the why behind why I did it, and that's the why behind why donors I use the app. So we answered the why in the name, which is feeling blessed. Um, and sure, so one masjid, other masjid, Islamic school. So that, slowly just started having that, organic snowball effect. Alhamdulillah.
That's great. So, since 2014 now, how many organizations are on the platform?
Uh, I would, the exact number would be anywhere between 195 and 205. So let's ballpark it at 200.
Sure. That's great. And then in terms of like the number of users you've been able to have sign up as well.
Yeah, so so we have a platform, which is both an app, Android. So we have native platforms. So the product evolved. We did the website first. Just the agile way of doing it. Website first. Although we always wanted to do the app, and then in 2015 we did the app. Then the native apps on both the stores, uh, and then just been growing since then. So between all the platforms, between the web and the native apps, we have more than 40,000 people who are actually users. Like we've
That's
uh,
fantastic.
at some point they've interacted with us. Active users would be about one third of them. Active being people who interact and use the app or our platform, either the web or one of the apps. It's probably
Sure.
one third of that. active again being people who use it more frequently, once every 2 weeks, once a month.
That's great. And I know, as a nonprofit, the organizations can log in, they can see who've donated. There's a little dashboard there. So it's definitely convenient in that aspect. And then also as a donor, you get to see all of the charities that are listed in there. You can search by cause. So tell us a little bit more about the user experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's, it's a marketplace, right? So there's organizations, as you said, because you are, alhamdulillah, one of the partners, and you've seen the dashboard. And then there's the other side, which is the donors, and we are donor focused. It's about a lifestyle change that we want to bring into the donors' lives. The experience for the donor is very, very simple, right? I mean, it's really give them the experience that they really need, which is, you feel blessed and you have a few seconds to actually make it, double down on it, and share it with people, with organizations that you care about. So you log in. I mean, the first time experience is a little bit involved, because you log in, you create an account, which is just an email address and a password. And the reason we want you to create the account is because, obviously we want to put you in the driving seat. You mean the donor in the driving seat, because the donor needs to know. They can look at their history. They can download it, the entire report, which is very, very handy this time of the year, because it's tax season. You can look what you did last year. You can look how much of it was zakat. So all of that is, it's like tracked very nicely in your app, and you can have all of that interaction. It's like bookkeeping for yourself. So that's why the first time experience, you need to create an account, and that's just an email address, basically. Um, and then yeah, you're right. So you then look it up through cause, or it's geographically located. So your closest masjid and your closest Islamic school are the first ones on the list, anyways.
Nice.
Uh, and then you can sort it alphabetically, or you can just do a simple Google search, like a search bar, like how Google is, and you can just search for a particular name if you're looking for that. Then you get to there. So once you choose an organization, you get to their landing page, which basically means the amount, the category. So let's say you go to AMCF. So the categories would be, a 2-year endowment, a 5-year endowment, whatever it is that you as a charity puts. So that page is managed by the organization, both in terms of, suggested donor amounts, although obviously the user can customize it, the donor can customize that amount, but there are certain suggestion boxes managed by the organization. Categories, the purposes that you guys are raising funds for, that the organization is raising funds for. Recurring, if you want to set up a recurring. Memoriam, Sadqa Jariya, if you want to do it in the name of someone who's passed away, or even if it's, they're alive, but you want to do it in the name of someone. And then if it's zakat or not, because we want to keep, we want to make sure that you can track your zakat separately. Some organizations, not all categories are zakat eligible, so we manage that as well. And then, so that's the second page. You fill out that piece, and then the third page is just confirm. We just give you a summary, and you're good to go, and you just confirm. And so again, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Recurring, you can do Sadqa Jariya, Memoriam. You can go back and look at your tax report, donation reports. So that's the general flow. And then the second time user is, when you open the app, it actually brings you back to your previous donation, because people often repeat. People are wired the same way over and over again. So it just actually skips the first step, the second step. You're back into your final step. If everything looks good, you just say confirm, and you're back. You're done. There's a little memo field if you just for your own records, or for if you want to communicate with the organization, you can fill out a memo. Um, and so that's the bread and butter. That's the easy. That's the 3-step. And there's some other features within the app the users can do. Do peer-to-peer fundraising. There's fundraisers that are going on by organizations. So the zakat calculator. I mean, there's other good tools there as well. But the donation flow, which is the 90% of the donation flow, is just that. Tap tap tap.
Great. And then in terms of, if there's an organization that's not on the platform, and say a donor is interested in giving to a certain charity, what's the process to get the organizations onboarded?
Yeah, great question. So there's no unsolicited funds. Every money that goes through the platform directly goes into the bank account. We never process, see, touch the money. So we're basically, from that perspective, we are very, very lean. We're very light. The donor connects a bank or a credit card, and then that just goes into the donations, into the organization's bank directly. If you happen to give to an organization that is not on the app, then there's a small way. There's an invite button. You just click on that, and you fill out tell us about who it is that you want to bring onto the app. That email comes to us, then we contact the person. If you also want to talk, so we encourage users to bring their favorite nonprofits, but there's a process to bring it, which is just invite them via the app, or you can just word of mouth, go tell them, and they can contact us. But there's a way to do it from the app.
That's convenient. In terms of Ramadan, I'm sure you probably see an uptick in people using the app. So what are some of the things that you're hoping to update for this coming Ramadan, or just kind of encourage users to sign up and organizations to sign up for this Ramadan?
Yeah, Ramadan, alhamdulillah, is coming up. Allahumma balighna Ramadan. It's right around the corner. May Allah take us to Ramadan, all of us. Ramadan is definitely a great season, right? Again, going back to our religion, your Prophet ﷺ was rahmatul alamin, and he was and yet he was the most generous in Ramadan. So Ramadan is definitely a month of mercy. The Quran came to us in mercy in Ramadan. So yes, we definitely see a huge uptick in Ramadan. We try to offer, if we are engineers, so it's innovation for us, right? And keep offering better and powerful products. And there's a couple of verticals in the app that we've looked into, and we want to promote those. One being a gift registry. We call it gift registry, but what it is it's actually a peer-to-peer. And in lieu of, let's say you have an event, you have a birthday, you have in Ramadan you have these roza khushais, which is basically your kid did your
Sure.
first roza, and or any other event, walima, baby showers, graduations. In lieu of having those events, first of all, those events aren't happening as much, and we all, Allah bless us, and we come out of this pandemic. But even so, nowadays those events aren't happening anyways. But even when those events were happening and inshallah resume to happen, there's always a lot of people who said, in lieu of gifts, I am supporting this charity. you
Right.
know so that's, we call that gift registry. I think a lot of that we want to be able to promote a lot of that this Ramadan, where people aren't going to have those iftar parties, people aren't going to have a lot of events socializing that we associate Ramadan with. And because that's not going to happen, we still want people to be generous and set up these gift registries and for your most favorite causes, and spread the word.
Really good. When it comes to like data security, obviously in the community we've heard of like Muslim Pro and things like that. What is Feeling Blessed doing to not fall into those issues?
First of all, dua. May Allah protect us, and we want to be able to be protected. But obviously, you got to tie your camel. So we, Allah tawakkal, of course, but we do everything that is possible. In terms of data security, the first thing, and so there's two types of data, right? One is the sensitive data, the payment information, and all of that. So all of that, none of that even resides on our servers. All of that goes to our payment processor servers, and these payment processors are moving billions of dollars. I mean, we're just one of the customers they have, right? So they're using, they're powering Apple Pay, Alibaba, Amazon. So they're doing a lot of big stuff. So they obviously, so by not solving the problems that we couldn't solve properly, or b, much better solutions industrial wide exist, we just take the off the shelf product and use them. They provide all the highest level of security. So that's the sensitive pieces, right? And then there's data such as, some of, so basically, um, we don't have a lot of data, as I said. In order to be able to create an account, we just have your email address. And yes, we do have, the organization that you've given donated to. Our practice, our privacy policy, and have always been on the web. We do not partner with anybody. We do not have a third party partner. Like for example, with Muslim Pro, they had X mode, and usually people use a lot of third party people to just lead generations or ads. We have no ads on our thing. We have no lead generation software. We've never have, and we never will partner with any of this, or AdSense. So we do all of those practices that, yes, means little to no monetization on our side, but just keeps us very, very clean and secure. So our practices have been very, very clear. The only people who get your information are organizations that you choose to donate to, because they want to be able to give you tax receipts as well. So that's the only information that goes through us to somebody else, which is just your name and email address to the organization that you've given.
That makes sense. I think that you are serving a great need in terms of being able to simplify giving. And like you said, just in a few clicks, be able to automate giving, whether it's something you want to do every Friday, and maybe you were used to putting some money into the mosque at Jummah, but now you can still do that through your phone. This ease of use and this solution, I think, is a really great way for people to continue to contribute and learn about causes as well. I've used the app, and I've even gotten some of the push notifications that are nice reminders to look for charities and stuff like that. So what other kind of innovative ways is Feeling Blessed doing to kind of encourage that continuous giving?
Yeah, a very good question. And a good summary as well. I mean, think about us as your donation box in everybody's hands throughout, 24/7. So random Tuesday, random Wednesday, a brother or sister will give. I mean, being able to give from the comfort of your house on a single or two or three taps, and knowing that reliably it gets to the organization that you wanted to give to, because they connected via very secure means, and it's their bank account. I mean, all of that anxiety, we have to address the anxiety is important. And and as far as being able to push the people and keep reminding them, because that's the advantage of being an app, right? Is where you have a little bit more control on notifications. So we give Juma notifications. We give so every Juma you'll see a notification from us, and it's very generic. It's not for a particular charity. It's just an ayah from the Quran that talks about being generous, an ayah about don't forget to give. And Juma is a blessed day. Very very generic, but just but a very powerful reminder, right? Because everybody's busy. So it's push notifications, and we do spotlights for we do about once every 6 weeks we do a spotlight on a particular charity or an event that's going on. For example, we just had a World's Blind Day, and there's an organization on our app. They do their Braille, and they wanted Quran in Braille, and we did a spotlight on them. So it's really causes that we have reserved spotlight, and those spotlights are like emails to everyone, like the 40,000 people that we have. But we don't want to do that often. We want to respect the donors, and we don't want to just flood them with emails every day, every week. We have we update our social media presence quite often. We had last Ramadan we had a YouTube series which was about giving in the light of Quran, the upper hand in the light of Quran, basically. And we had like one, cover to cover. Obviously, there was we didn't get to cover to cover, but like 2 minutes right after Asr, we would just post a 2 minute video about an ayah in the Quran that encourages us to give. So we have social media to influence people, and then most importantly, the push notifications, the emails, to make people aware. Anytime a new charity onboards, we also send out a push notification. Hey, this charity has onboarded. Just in and that's not that's again only once when an organization logs in,
Right.
onboards.
Nice. So Tauseef, thank you so much for your service to the community and being able to use your skill set to benefit the community overall. I know the hundreds of nonprofits appreciate it, as does AMCF. We're always looking to find new donors and people interested in our work, but also want to highlight the good work of Feeling Blessed so that more users can sign up as well. And we want to be encouraging all Muslim philanthropy through any means. So, congratulations on this app, and inshallah, looking forward to seeing more great things that the app will do.
No, thank you, Jazakumullah khair. Again, so as you rightly said, I mean, this is just a lifestyle app. We just want people to be able to give more often, and we get these emails very often that, hey, this is now I give $1 after every Fajr. I give $10 after Maghrib. This has become a daily habit. or it's just so much easy for me to give sadaqah when this happened, my something happened to my kid, something happened. So it's just alhamdulillah, those that's what keeps us grounded, and that's what keeps us very, very driven in our mission of growing the Muslim donation space. It really isn't about slicing it differently. It's not it really isn't about, okay, there was this $1,000 that was being donated and now it's being donated through Feeling Blessed. I keep telling my team this often, always, that we are here to grow value, bring value, and to grow the donation space, and not just slice it differently. And alhamdulillah, no organization has come and left. Every organization has always, as yourself, thank you, jazakallah khair, I've always appreciated everything that has come in through the app. It's always welcomed, and they see great value in it. And it's just not anecdotal now, it's empirical. We've been at it for 6-7 years now. Alhamdulillah, so jazakallah khair for giving me the opportunity to speak about it, and thank you for being a valued partner, and thank you for promoting us.
Yeah, of course. People can find out more at feelingblessed.org or on Instagram, feeling.blessed.app. So again, thank you so much, and inshallah, looking forward to staying in touch.
Inshallah, Mohi. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam.